be going over two things today. The first thing we're going to be going over is Unified Customer View, which is really a repackaging and a remessaging of stuff that we're already selling today. And also how Unified Customer View is going to guide us through 2015. The second thing we're going to do is going to talk about solution selling, which is a little bit of a different approach of what we were doing in 2014, which we call product selling. But let's jump right into what we're going to be actually taking a look at. Come on, buddy. All right, here we go. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to summarize 2014, the stuff that we learned there, and how that applied to 2015 strategy. And then we're going to answer the following questions. We want you guys to leave the room understanding how does the market think of a unified customer view? Why Signal? Why do we all think that we're the perfect company? We're in the right position to solve this problem. What exactly is our solution? That's something that everybody needs to leave here today with a clear understanding of. And then also, how current clients are using this solution package, and what exactly is solution selling? How is this a different approach than what we were doing last year? Speaking of last year, we're also going to talk about next steps on training. Speaking of last year, let's talk about last year and then how that influenced this year. Before we're looking at last year, look at 2013. Once upon a time, there's a little company called BrightTag with a big friend called Yahoo Japan. Yahoo Japan is very much like the Google in Japan, and they needed a tag management solution, so they came to us. They white labeled our tag management solution product in 2013, and then the companies started to get to know each other a little bit better. We started getting a good understanding on how Yahoo Japan wants to approach the next 5 years. They started understanding our technological capabilities a little bit better. And soon we figured out that we actually want to together build a cross-channel solution. So that really influenced our focus for 2014, early 2014, where we wanted to focus on three things, and that's how product and the developers were all segmented up. The collecting of data, so not just from a website perspective, but also from the mobile app, from other sources using an API and batch. We also created a team about connecting. Now we already could connect IDs because of that server direct integration that we have, where you have to match and store IDs, but we wanted to get better at that. We wanted to be able to do that for first-party identifiers, not just for syncing with the ecosystem. And then a whole new product called Live Segments, where you actually can use that connected data, build rules, and be able to distribute those IDs to your vendors so they can take cross-channel action. So we segmented our developing and our product approach into three different categories here, and we got better at all three of them as the Q1 and Q2 went on. Where we got a mobile SDK, we got an API ability, we were able to enhance Cookie Hub so it can not just take third-party identifiers, but also first-party identifiers. And then Live Segments actually became a real product. There's a heavy amount of resources were allocated to actually build the product across Q1 and Q2, and we're able to launch that product along with a new brand called Signal. Now, when we rebranded, it changed a couple things. No longer was that data collection point called BrightTag. It now turned into Data Hub once that Spitfire rollout gets released. Cookie Hub did, enhance, and then also Live Segments became a thing and a message that we went out to the market with. And we told the market, hey, if you're able to collect and connect to your first-party customer engagement data, that you can use those elements and fuel this Live Segment product. And Live Segments is going to be able to let you do cross-channel action. And we anticipated a lot of success with Live Segments and for the market to really adopt it. But what we actually found was not so much success with Live Segments, but success where clients kind of stopped us after we walked in saying Live Segments, Live Segments. They stopped us and they go, wait. You can use matching, and you can kind of redo that matching of data and port it back into Data Hub and spit out a complete file in the form of the data feed with matched data. That's what's really valuable for us today. Live Segment sounds great, later, but today that's in the form of a data feed where matched data is collected and distributed. That's what's important to us today. So that's where we saw our success in Q3 and especially in Q4. So that's the first thing that we experienced in 2014. The second thing we experienced in 2014 was this product selling approach. What we did is we went up to potential clients and we said, hey, we have a lot of capabilities. We have this ad impression pixel. We have this mobile SDK. We have this matching capabilities. And we can distribute that match data anywhere you want. What can you do with it? We kind of sat back and looked at them. What do you think about that? It was product focused. It was use case driven. We talked a lot about mobile to desktop retargeting, one-time use cases. It was talking about today's problem, again, use case driven. It wasn't necessarily a journey we were talking about and approaching in 2014. It really focused on what marketing or cross-channel marketing initiatives are you trying to do today? And it really focused on activation. And where we thought we would be very successful here, the market was telling us they wanted something a little bit different. So, we learned two things in 2014. The first thing that we learned is leading marketers are ready to own cross-channel measurement or warehousing, not necessarily ready to own cross-channel activation. And when you're thinking own, we'll go ahead and explain that.
Yeah, the conversation has been around a lot for measurement. Attribution's been out there about 7 years, and those vendors and those marketers have been talking about all that stuff for a long time. The actual cross-channel activation from your own system is relatively a new conversation. So there's been budgets for cross-channel measurement, there's teams for cross-channel measurement, there's a whole slew of tools for cross-channel measurement. So that's why that kind of, people got that a little bit faster than the activation.
Yeah, and cross-channel measurement is very synonymous with the word big data. That's a term that's been thrown around for the last couple of years. So they're ready for that. They want to conquer big data. The second thing that we learned was product selling works, but usually it only works for simple solutions like tag management, where you can assume that every client pretty much has the same pain points. They want to manage their tags better. They want their site to run faster and be more secure. You can anticipate a client's needs very easily with tag management, but with a solution as complex as our product suite, really a different approach needs to be taken where we actually do solution selling, or rather we say, hey, we can do this, we can do that. The emphasis on discovery. What do you need? What are your goals? Then we go back to the drawing board, build a custom solution, and then bring it to the client. So that influenced our strategy for 2015. So in 2015, we're going to go to the market with a unified customer review message, with an early focus on measurement, just like Josh was saying about talking to those teams and focusing on the big data initiatives. Later with the promise that we will get to activation if you are able to master measurement. And then we're also going to approach the market in a solution selling approach, where it's not just about today's cross-channel initiatives, but more about a journey to own your cross-channel data. So what should you expect over the next few weeks? February 10th is going to be a press release that Carol's going to write and get a lot of coverage on. But you're going to be covered and you're going to be educated a lot more prior to that press release. We're going to have 3 trainings, this one being the first one. And also, this is going to be a lot of information for you guys to bring in. A lot of people want to talk it out, just to hear themselves, talk through the same talk track. So we're going to have workshop sessions where you can just come in and bug the 3 product marketers here. We're going to have post-launch practice, especially at the Sales Summit. You're going to be supported by a lot of content. We're working really hard to get you guys, what's this different solution style sales process, use cases specifically for measurements, specifically for those big data use cases, product dives so you have real integral knowledge of how it all works, and lastly, supporting by marketing all the way through. Like I said, there's going to be a press release, there's going to be tailoring to the website so it reflects this messaging, and also continuous messaging. Josh's blog post today that got released was really focused on this type of topic, and you're going to see a lot of that more to come in the next 6 months.